Before you say it, yes, I need to wear hearing protection. Sometimes when I'm doing something, farting around, I don't like to put it on all the time. It freaking gives me a headache sometimes. I don't care. Hey everybody, just down here testing out the iPad and making sure the bloody thing works for the video. Hopefully it's better than the phone. Ooh. And 2005. Yeah, I like this one. All right, I had a long night last night. Holy crap. I was digging up every kind of information, every picture, every video, every bit of information I could, and trying to match this drum up. And like on my community page, well, I posted this on my community page already, but I wanted to do a little quick video showing the drum being used. I have no dampening on it whatsoever. Don't even have big fat snare drum on it. But I want to show you a couple of little things. Now, the other day when I got it, I noticed these two little holes right here. All right, there's an easy explanation for that. It wasn't a foreign company, well, meaning foreign, something other than Premier. It was a resonator badge. Premier resonator drums had a second smaller badge added. It was black with silver or white that said resonator. It was in two places. You see, the one is here. This is the most common placement of the drum badge, is to the right of the throw off. On the resonators, on most of them I should say that I've seen, they also had a second badge right here, hence the bigger hole, because it was also a vent right there. And you can see right there as well, two small matching holes for making it a resonator. Now, the strainer is different. Strainer is an inexpensive one somebody picked up online. Possibly because the resonators, a lot of them had the parallel, what you call it, type strainer. It was kind of a weird strainer for it. The hoop was projected out, and there was a little bit more to it than a normal parallel action strainer. Is that what it's called? I think. But they were known to be a little finicky. So I read in a couple of spots on, was it drum forum or something like that, that people would remove them just for the fact it's easier just putting a regular strainer on there, which makes sense to me because God knows I don't like crap to be more difficult than it needs to be. Everything on this earth is difficult for me in one way or another. But the shell, I called it as birch. Resonator shells were birch, okay? The re-rings or the reinforcement rings are beech. That's what it states in everything I've seen about these drums. And all the pictures, all the videos I've seen of the inside of the drum, showing the re-rings and all that, that's matches exactly with what I have. Now, the walnut, or not walnut, but the walnut looking mahogany, the mahogany veneer that's in the inside, somebody added that because it was a thin, initially the Resonator 2005 is a thin walled snare drum, hence the reason I had the reinforcement hoops. So somebody wanted to tone this down a little bit, make it a little more warmer, give it more of a mapley type sound, hence the reason why they added mahogany. And I've read that in a few accounts, not with Premier drums, but with like Tama, and I think it was a Pearl one as well, that it's not an uncommon occurrence. So, am I unhappy that the mahogany's in there? Oh, not at all. When you play this snare a little lighter, she's really warm sounding, really nice. I was beating on it there a little bit, just because I'm trying to break that head in. I really never use this head very much, since that Aquarian texture coated. But I really like it on this. Down the road, I'll probably get another top bearing by Attack, you know, the red dot one put on there. I just like those on the wooden snares for some reason. So I am happy to say despite the initial opening video and where I thought I had been initially duped, or I really didn't understand what I had in my hand, I'm here to tell you this is a Premier 14x8 model 2005 resonator snare. It's been reworked. As you can see, the hoops are not what they're supposed to be. These are brand new hoops. They're not the cheap ones though. These are like the 3mm. I only have one other snare with those thicker triple flange hoops. All the rest of them are the thinner 1.5 or whatever they are size wise. But I would have liked to had the original hoops to the resonator because it dropped out, the guard dropped out quite a bit farther. It was unique looking because of that parallel action strainer and the way it works. I'm not exactly sure how those strainers work because I've never had one myself, never even touched one. I've only seen them in pictures. But a lot of people, some people like them, some people don't. I would rather stick to the, I probably don't like it, so I don't want anything to do with it. But, so I guess the next question is, where do I go from now with this one? Well, she's definitely staying here. This is my snare drum, and until I take a dirt nap, it's staying with me. Down the road, I would like to swap this throw off with the actual Premier one. The only ones I'm really finding are on eBay overseas in the United Kingdom. They weren't asking a lot of money for them. Some of them $7, $8, $9, a couple of $20, $25. But the shipping is $20 to $30, so it's quite a bit in shipping. Maybe down the road I'll keep checking Guitar Center, and now and again you see it, there's a snare that's a little worse for wear. Maybe I can come across a Premier snare that's in poor condition, and they mark it as probably, best used as a parts source. If that's the case and it's got an original Premier throw off, maybe I'll pick it up just to take the throw off and salvage anything else I can get, and especially the badge too. I really like the badges. The badges aren't cheap, are kind of hard to come by unless you really want to divvy out some money. Now, when I got the message, I started all this because one of the a man by the name of Jonathan Brody made mention to a couple of things that kind of sparked my interest and kind of got my search going. Because of the look of the shell had been waxed. There is a coating on the beach. I can't tell underneath on the inside if that's waxed or any kind of finish on that. I think there's a lacquer on there, but like the bearing edges have been waxed on this. I knew it was really smooth, but when you put wax on something, it kind of darkens up. It makes the wood look older than it really is. Initially the shell was thought to be a 1970s resonator, but after everything I did last night and searched, and this morning located a couple of things that showed the later model resonators before the factory closed with this exact badge that says Premier England, the big P badge, and it did have the backing plate, which makes it look really cool. I mean, that's frickin', it's like 1/8 of an inch thick. I mean, it's pretty big. And I wish the other one was with it as well. But that resonator kit was that resonator snare was a late 1980s, and with that badge. Now I'm really surprised that these lugs, I think, don't quote me, but these are the 440-20 lugs. I think I misspoke the other day about them. These are the 440-20s. That's what the serial number on the inside are. But I am surprised. Somebody really, really loved this snare because there is nary a mark on these. I mean, these are in a lot better shape than my APKs. But I don't know, the more information I find out about this snare, the more I really love this thing. Again, really not happy with that strainer. However, it works fine. I gotta get some wires for it. They're about 17 bucks with the strap because I'm using the cords here, and you know I don't like the cords, but they have the Pure Sound straps. But I'm really relieved. I actually got a better snare than I initially thought. So resonators, for those of you not familiar with resonators was a special series like the Projectors, the Royals, there was a few other in there. Projectors got their name because they had that thin shell in there, but they had a second shell on the inside. See, like where you look inside the snare drum, you see all the washers and the screws and whatnot, and everything holding it together. With the resonator snares, or the resonator drums for that matter, you didn't see anything in there. All you saw was wood, because it was another thin veneer that fit perfectly on the inside, and it was helped them to project and produce a better tone. I've never touched a resonator until this, and unfortunately this does not have that extra shell on the inside. However, I'd almost guess that maybe somebody cut that extra shell up and used it for the veneer on the inside. However, the wood grain does not match. It's not birch. By looking at it, I can tell it's a mahogany. So somewhere out there, the shell has, you know, since disappeared, but I wasn't duped. I've got a really great snare here, and I'm really looking forward to lots of years of use. And I do have to replace the bottom head. It's a Premier head. Get a new strainer for it. All these strainers are perfectly good. My other ones that I took off the other drums are kind of in bad shape, or they're just really worn and stretched, so I probably won't use them. But this one is darn near brand new, so I'll keep this one in my good parts bin. But I want to get a set of Pure Sound 20s for the blasters, and get the strap. I also toyed with the idea of getting maybe a 30 set of strings. So. Probably a leaf in the yard. But anyway, I just wanted to go over a little bit that via video, because a lot of people don't like reading messages on the community page. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go kick the dogs in the ass and shut them up. You guys have a great week. See you next.